Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the latest Iraqi Dinar news with Bobby King, your go-to source for real-time updates straight from Iraq. Big news today, Iraqi Prime Minister Mohammed Shia Al-Sudani just had a phone call with US Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit that like button, and support me as we bring you the most important updates on the Iraqi dinar and global financial shifts. Let's get into it. In a surprising and politically charged development, Iraqi Prime Minister Mohammed Shia Al-Sudani received a phone call from none other than US Secretary of State Marco Rubio. The conversation, which took place on Tuesday, marks a significant moment in US-Iraq relations, signaling both the deepening complexities and renewed opportunities in their bilateral engagement. But wait, Marco Rubio? The Florida senator and known foreign policy hawk? His name replacing that of Antony Blinken as Secretary of State? The revelation alone sent shockwaves through political circles, exposing a dramatic shift in US leadership and potentially, its Middle East policy. While much remains to be seen, this unexpected twist has reignited discussions about Washington's evolving role in Iraq and the region. A relationship defined by strain and strategy for years, the relationship between Iraq and the United States has been anything but stable. Following the 2003 US-led invasion, Iraq became a battleground of competing influences, a fragile democracy caught between American military presence and growing Iranian influence. The withdrawal of US combat troops in 2011 gave Iraq a fleeting moment of sovereignty before ISIS emerged, plunging the country into yet another devastating conflict. Despite the shared victory against ISIS, recent years have seen deteriorating trust between Baghdad and Washington. Iraq has been a frequent battleground for Iran-backed militias, many of whom view the US as an unwelcome occupier rather than a partner. American military bases have come under repeated drone and missile attacks, exacerbating tensions. Meanwhile, Washington has struggled to strike a balance, maintaining a presence to deter ISIS while avoiding full-scale confrontation with Iran-backed forces. A pivotal conversation. What was discussed? The phone call between Al-Sudani and Rubio comes at a critical juncture, with multiple crises looming over Iraq. According to government sources, the two leaders discussed deepening bilateral ties and enhancing cooperation across key areas, including 1. Security and counterterrorism. While ISIS no longer holds territory, its sleeper cells continue to launch sporadic attacks. 1. The U.S. remains an essential partner in intelligence sharing, drone strikes, and counterterrorism operations. 1. However, Washington's military presence in Iraq remains deeply controversial, and Al-Sudani must navigate internal opposition from pro-Iran factions. 2. Economic and energy cooperation. Iraq, despite being one of the world's largest oil producers, suffers from rampant corruption, electricity shortages, and economic instability. 2. With the U.S. eager to counter Chinese and Iranian influence in Iraq's energy sector, the conversation likely touched on American investment in Iraqi infrastructure, technology, and oil production. 3. Regional stability and Iran's influence. Perhaps the most explosive topic of discussion was Iraq's precarious position in the ongoing U.S.-Iran rivalry. 3. Baghdad walks a fine line, striving to maintain good relations with both Washington and Tehran. 3. The U.S. expects Iraq to rein in Iranian-backed militias, but doing so could risk internal conflict or even political destabilization. The shocking implications of Rubio's role beyond the immediate content of the call, the most stunning revelation remains the identity of the U.S. Secretary of State. Marco Rubio, a figure who has built his career on a hardline stance against authoritarian regimes, including Iran, China, and Russia, now finds himself steering U.S. diplomacy. His appointment suggests a fundamental recalibration of America's Middle East policy. Unlike his predecessors, who favored delicate diplomacy, Rubio is known for his aggressive stance on Iran and his skepticism toward Iraq's ability to distance itself from Tehran. If his tenure follows his past rhetoric, Iraq could see stronger pressure on Iran-backed militias, stricter conditions for U.S. military aid and investment, a push for Iraq to align more closely with Gulf allies like Saudi Arabia and the UAE. This shift could mean tougher choices for Al-Sudani. While he seeks to maintain Iraq's sovereignty and avoid becoming a pawn in global conflicts, Washington's new leadership may demand more decisive action on militia crackdowns and counterterrorism cooperation. A hopeful future, or a looming crisis? despite the uncertainties, there is a glimmer of hope. The fact that both leaders agreed to intensify communication and deepen cooperation suggests that, despite their differences, Iraq and the US still recognize their mutual interests. For Iraq, a stronger partnership with the US could mean checkmark more investment in reconstruction and energy, checkmark enhanced security against terrorism, checkmark increased diplomatic leverage in the region. For the US, maintaining a strong relationship with Iraq remains crucial for regional stability, counter-terrorism efforts, and curbing Iranian influence. If handled wisely, this moment could mark a new chapter, one of trust, stability, and progress. Yet, the risks remain high. If Rubio's tenure signals a more confrontational approach, Iraq could be drawn further into geopolitical turmoil, once again becoming a battleground for global power struggles. As Iraqis watch this unfolding drama, one question remains: will this phone call be remembered as a turning point toward prosperity, or the beginning of yet another cycle of instability? Only time will tell. In the end, I'd like to ask my friends who are watching to stay positive and patient, as patience is the key to success. Please subscribe to my channel and support me. Wishing you all a great day.